Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Leilu Nishmas Mimiros Mordechai. 10 days left to Ksubas. It also means that in 10 days from now, our very good friend, Ari, get over there, Ari. Come, Ari. Big honor. He's leaving us. He does this all the time because he learned through Shas. He knows these Mesechtas Baal Peh basically. Ksubas, you know Baal Peh? Pretty much. He's going to leave us for pretty much for good. So we wish him all the best. I forgot to announce this. I am leaving Be'ezer Hashem tomorrow on the worldwide tour, which basically to go there for a siyum, I'm going to be in Chicago for 5 days. Tonight, if anybody's interested, I'm giving this shir, tomorrow's shir, Daf Kuf Tesvav, here in the Beis Medrash at 9 p.m. Limited seats available. Not on Zoom, just right here being recorded. Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, Monday, I'm going to be in Chicago. If you're in Chicago, please, I beg you, please come to the shir. Then, Tuesday in Baltimore, a big event with official catering, a whole matzav. Of course, Thursday is the siyum. As of now, 870. You understand the number? 870 people paid to come to the siyum, and that's with a week and a half to go. They don't even know about It's true. Some people are paying to see the house, not to come for the siyum. I can hear that. If you see what it looks like, it's the whole. They have this tent, 15,000 square feet, right now set up with over 1,000 chairs just for the shir, and then they move the chairs away. It's crazy massive. Okay. They're basically closing down. They're going to be closing down the website today, tomorrow. They want to limit it already. Now, is there going to be a sign hold on a second. All questions for later. You can continue your question, that's fine. After Baltimore, on Tuesday comes the siyum. Then Friday, Deal, New Jersey. Motzei Shabbos, Lakewood, New Jersey. Sunday, Toronto. Monday, Toronto. And then I come back to Tzirel. So be there in Toronto, be there in Lakewood. No, I'm going to be in Deal for Shabbos.
What makes it worldwide? It's worldwide. You know, there's places outside.
There's only a couple of places in the world: Lakewood, New York, and now Baltimore's trying to get up there. Okay. So Rabbi Yisai, I'm serious. It stresses me out, these kind of trips, and I asked the Olam to daven for me that everything should go well. I shouldn't miss any flights. I shouldn't give the wrong daf in the wrong place. Things happen. 114 Bachrim. Rabbi Yisai, a very big simcha today. You're not going to believe it. Listen to this. Being already with your shir since Shabbos makes me very proud to be part of the great MDY family. Exactly a year ago today, my 69th birthday, I was at America's Daf Yomi for the first time. And enjoy coming ever since. You'll see him around almost every day now. He comes in on bus from Yerushalayim every single day. I want to wish you and Rebelli and all the so dedicated staff, Gary, Noam, Nachman, Asadon, Yosef, Avi, and everyone I may have left out, to all the members of the group, and not to forget Mark, Yossi Klein, Shlomi Klein, Yisrael, and all of you behind the scenes, on my 70th birthday, which is today. Rabbi Yaakov Rosner, come over here for a second. Say Shalom Aleichem to Olam. Shkoyach, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. No, give me a real bracha. You can leave go. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. Stop. Amen. Amen.
I can't wait to come back again to the Beis Medrash.
You could come. The shiurim will be here every single morning, Be'ezer Hashem, and that's the plan. We're going to do it a little differently than last time. I'm going to pre-record. The shiurim going to be shown here, 7:15. If you want to talk, Avi, Seder, you want to say it yourself, come. 7:15 every morning. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think the MDY viewers will enjoy the attached clip I put together. Please display it in the shir. I don't know if I will. I'm inspired by Eli's enthusiasm, humor, infectious, obviously, only continue hatzlacha, mazel tov To everyone on the upcoming scene, Shmuel Weiss, Lakewood in Jersey. I don't know. I had a big debate if I should show this. Not going to show it. Okay. How about this one? If I have a doubt, you're saying don't show it. This is Tzirel Bartlett from Baltimore. His children, he's on Zoom every day. You have some volume?
Try it again.
Good morning, the poolside.
Leib Schreiber, architect, Lakewood, New Jersey. It was a pleasure to meet you finally when I came Friday, Shavuos, and the following week, Motzi Shabbos. I started Daf Yomi in the beginning last cycle and heard about the 8-minute Daf in Shpach magazine. Started this past Rosh Hashanah. Started the MDY Daf with the Tainus. My daughter took a picture of me learning on a little excursion trip. Excursion, you're right. Trip before going back home. Looking forward to seeing you in Deal, New Jersey. My 11-year-old grandson, Yossi Kaladny, started my cut in Waterbury, Connecticut. Okay, I'm finding people I know learn. I saw my old neighbor. All the best. Leib Schreiber. Daniel Torah. Oh, this was gewaldig. Our boy said, ooh. I forgot to put the picture in here. Okay, different time. Yesterday, we had a chassan. I said, Mazel Tov the chassan. That was Daniel Turk. And after davening, I went over to him and I said, I can't believe it. And he goes, I can't believe it either. We both realized that he forgot to say something very important. He says, I started learning the daf of Motzi Shabbos, Chof Dal Cheshvan. The daf was Rosh Hashanah, daf Chof Aleph. A week later, Motzi Shabbos, Beis Kislev, Chof Ches Rosh Hashanah. I went on my first day with Navi Green, to whom I'm Be'ez Hashem getting married today. So he attributes meeting his Kala to the Daf Yomi, which he told me at a chasana once before. So have a wonderful day, wonderful chasana, wonderful life together. It should be b'simcha. Should always be zayich to do the daf and bring Torah into your life. Here you have 3 people I forgot to write their names down from Florida. And today the koilo is being sponsored for the month. Leilu Nishmas is Zechariah ben Moshe.
Selfish to get married on a day when we're going to have Hadran tomorrow anyway.
I told him about that. That parnasah Chodesh, Ahron Fraiman, Lzchus continue parnasah dishmaya and the rebellion. Parnasah Chodesh by the Lock and Lebovic families, Lakewood NJ, because Torah. You cannot talk during these things. I know that you're bored by it, but imagine you were sponsoring. You want people to speak during your sponsorship. By the Lock and Lebovic families, Lakewood NJ, because Torah is the best segula. Refuah Shilayma for Yevamos, Aviya bas Shifra Chaya. Parnasah Chodesh, the MDY Family, Leilu Nishmas, Shimshon, Weiss, Shimshon ben Meshulam, Zechus Lebracha. Parnasah Chodesh, as a Zechus for our children to be kadosh, safe, healthy, happy, and know that Hashem loves them. A new one, I guess. Huh? Yeah, I know. I didn't know about the chasana. The Sharp family, Leilu Nishmas, our cousin. Simcha Eliezer David Olav Shalom Ben Rabbi Yosef Chaim Ner Davis. Davis from Chicago, I believe. Yes, Simcha Davis. Happy anniversary to my wife, Tzirel Farkovits. My today's learning be Zechus for her and the whole family of Rameir, so Dov and Tzirel Farkovits. Leilu Nishmas, my grandmother Chana Bluma Basil Yaakov Levin, on her yard side by her grandson Peretz Chaim Levin. Latzlacha Baruch Nis Begashmias for the whole mishpacha. Rabbi, so we have a bunch of guests here. I don't know if we could go through all of them, but we have Rabbi David from Manchester is making chasana tonight, so Mazel Tov, Shalom Aleichem. Another from London, Shlomi Leitner, Shalom Aleichem. And you? Right, Michael Rebold from Clifton, New Jersey. Who else? Okay. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. His son also. What's his name? Nathaniel. Shalom Aleichem. The doctor. All the way. You're not going to be in Toronto when I'm there. Okay. Rabbis, have a riddle. Huh?
We can't be in the same town together. You're leaving tomorrow.
I'm leaving. Yeah. So somebody just wrote an email. They're so excited. He's going to come to the live shir July 4th. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, early in the morning. So this is the second to last year. Tonight is the last year. Fine. Rabbi Isai, riddle, based on what we were talking about the other day. Donnie, fine. Do you think it's an issue if your wife was pregnant? Do you have an issue knowing whether or not the baby is a boy or a girl to see an ultrasound? You're a kohen. Does it make a difference to you? Rabbi Schoenberg, what do you say? Kohanim, do you have an issue? What would be the issue?
pretty.
You can't imagine having a girl. Okay, so we're going to get to there. A very interesting shayla. Whether or not a woman who knows, a kohenes who knows that she's going to have a boy, is she permitted to go to the hospital? Talking about there's no sakana, yes sakana, without that. But there's a problem of tumah. Bizman hazeh. It's also for you, Donnie, to bring your child into a hospital when there's a mace in the hospital. Did you know that? Okay, so it's not just for Gdalim, it's for Ktanim also, even a 1-day-old. It's also in this big shiloh, we're going to see whether a woman who's in the hospital who gave birth, and the doctor said you can leave if you want, but if you want, insurance pays for another day. She's a kohenes. Could she stay there for another day, knowing that her kid is going to become tamei? These are shilos. Not really the main part of the sugya, but interesting things. Says the Gemara, we're holding Daf Kufiyud Gimel Amud Beis. 7 lines from the bottom. Hey, Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida, that a chereshes, a deaf mute whose father married her off when she was a ktana, and that constitutes a deraisa marriage. So, says Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida, we have it over here. You want to see? Hey, Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoida, al chereshes shesiya avia sheyoytze beget, even though it's a deraisa marriage, she goes out with a get. So, Omar Rava, from this edus, from this testimony, which is the halacha, I can infer another halacha. Omar leidim, ru get zeh, shani noisen. Look at this get that I am giving to my wife. Now, his wife does not hear this. It's behind her back. Then he turns around to his wife and he says, listen, I want to give you a check for $1 million here. And she grabs it. She opens up the check and she sees it's not so much a check, but it's a divorce. Why is it Megurash? Because Rabbi Yochanan says that the chireshes, she's a deaf mute. Halachically, she doesn't have seichel. You could give her a get, you could divorce her. So you see, you don't need the das of a woman. Pshita, what's Rava coming to be mechadish? Another halacha. I would think since he fooled her, he said, listen, this is a check. So what he meant to say is, this get that you have in your hand, I'm about to give to you, I want to annul it, I want to destroy it, I don't want it to be a get. Komash Malon, that's what Rav is coming to be mechadish. Why is he telling her? He would go to the Eidim. And from the fact that he didn't go straight to the Eidim, nothing happened here. And why did he speak in such a language? Why did he say it's a check? He didn't tell her it's a get. He was simply too embarrassed to divorce her, and he decided to hide it and disguise it with a check, and then he ran away. He gave her the check, bolted out of there, and it turns out it's a get. He signed it to her. Check. Here is a check. So now we have a whole sugya discussing this amazing halacha, and what do we do today? Practically speaking, are we mechuyev to keep our children away from Yisurim? We have to. You see your kid be mechal Shabbos. You see him turning on lights. He's 3, 4, 5 years old, 6 years old. There's a difference. 1 year old, 8 years old, 13 years, 12 and a half year old. Going to McDonald's and eating burgers. Are you mechuyev to stop him? Is there a difference between a burger, a cheeseburger, and turning on a switch on Shabbos? It seems like there is a big difference, according to many, that achila is worse than Yisurim. It's metamtem salev.
Turning on a switch anyways, it's just a grama.
We're not talking about switches. Maybe some people, here, come here, we have a seat for you, Tzaddik. Come, right over here. All the way in the front. Give him a Gemara. Somebody have a Gemara? There's one over there next to you. Oh, no, that's a... not one with English. Do me a favor. Chas. Oh. Shalom Aleichem. Wie heißt der? Moti Kirchner. From Vanen? Bar Park. Another Bar Park. Shkoyach. Here. Is there a seat over there? Yeah, you sit over there. Come, Kim. Kim, do I? Right over here. Yeah, in the Mizrach. Okay. Tell me the MS. No, in Borough Park, they tell the Olam to go in the back. What's going on here? Every single time the guy comes from Borough Park, he sits in the back seat with Tomer sitting. What's pshat? They have a there's certain kvias, and the Olam knows. Okay, that's why I have to before you're able to sit down. Okay. So here's the shayla. It happens a lot, and you see it in halacha. They discuss this kind of halacha. The gabbai forgets the keys to the shul. Everybody's locked out of shul. No erev. What do you do? So one of the eitzes is you tell a kid, you tell a 3-year-old, there, come with me, grab this, let's carry. Is it permitted or not? You go in a place without an erev. Could a kid carry your siddur to shul? Could he carry the cholm? They have a question about kugel, cholm. You forgot something. Okay. He dropped his keys in the middle of the Reshus Harabim. Issa the rice to carry. Also came the Rav Das. They came to Rabbi Pedas. Omar lei zil devar telei v'talyo. Get some boys and girls. V'letaylu hasam. Have them play in the street, and they're going to play, and all of a sudden they're going to find the keys. When they find the keys, you don't say anything. You let them pick it up, and then you say, "Come, let's go home." By the way, today's daf, the simon Ari, I'm inspired by Ari, is kid. Remember, this is all the shayas about the kids on Shabbos, what you can do and not can do. Okay. The mashgiach, because he's very into simon, he has every asking throughout Shas. He's a balabas, but he knows many masechtas literally by heart. Does chazara. Says the Gemara. Alma kasavar katan oichel nevelos ein bezdin mitzuvim lafrishoy. So you see from here that you're not mechuyev to. I'm just looking for my marker, which I probably forgot at home. Okay, where? It is in here. Oh,
you want the one that has my name on it? Just tell me.
I'd rather not use anything than have the one with your name on it. Yeah.
Just in case you need.
Yeah. Okay. I really appreciate it. Let's give it to me. Let's switch. Oh, so ask the Gemara. So you see, Alma kasavar. Kotan oichel nevelos ein bezdin mitzuvim lafrishoy. Bezdin is not mechuyev to tell him not to. Says the Gemara. So we have over here. You lost the keys. You go. You grab a kid, and he'll pick up the keys, bring it to you. Says the Gemara. Perhaps there's a raya. Don't tell him specifically. Don't talk to him directly and say, "Go pick up my key." Now the Gemara switches to another case. You let him go and cut branches as you know, kids. You're walking down the street, he starts picking the neighbor's garden and the flowers, roses, whatever it is. Could throw in Reshus Harabim. Says the Gemara, no raya from there. The case is again, this case, you have a pot that has a hole on the bottom, that's the knuckle. Without a hole in the bottom, it doesn't nourish from the ground. So Mamela, it's not considered a real klisha, just like you're not mechuyev and meiser like we had yesterday. Zoyrek, but Carmel is the Rabbanan. Carmel is not a Reshus Harabim, where you have the width and the amount of people that go through. It's not a Reshus Hayachid, that's a private domain. It's in between. It's nishdain, like almost like streets like we have today. Carmel is. And that is, sir, to carry there is only the Rabbanan. So it's not a raya that he let Rabbi Das let the kids find the keys because it's only Yisurim the Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan we're not mechuyev to be mafresh them. But maybe, perhaps, in the Doiraisa we are. Again, for the new guys, there's a guy that keeps on sending an email every day. He wants to know why I don't make a bracha. So for the new guys, I make a bracha purposely before Shir starts, because there is a shayla la'alacha we had. Whether people that watch it on YouTube later on, they should say amen or not. So but then there's another shayla for these people, the new guys that don't know that, they think I'm drinking without a bracha. He says, I don't understand. He's such a great guy. Why do you drink without a bracha every day? And then again, you're not answering me. I want to know why you're not drinking. Okay, fine. Tashma. A guy. It's you? Wow. This guy, a non-Jew shows up to put out the fire. We know it's not. Okay. If he decides on his own to come ahead and put out the fire, we don't have to stop him. But if your child or a cotton comes to put out the fire, Tashma, don't put out the fire. You're mechuyev to stop him. Why? Because it says in the pasuk, you're mechuyev on your animals, on your children, on your avadim. So what's the right? So you see from here, you have to stop him. Why do you have to stop him? You didn't tell him to put out the fire. But when a child looks to his father, Rashi says, he looks at his father, and he sees that his father is okay with what he's doing, so he's doing it al das aviv. Yeah? Doing al das aviv. Children look up to their parents, and he takes a look, and he notices his father's okay. His father's like, yeah, he doesn't shake his head or anything, but his father's like, geschmack, finally somebody's doing the work that I can't do. So that is mechuyev to stop. But if he's not doing al das aviv, he's not mechuyev. A guy who once darshaned his kid, he told him, you have to learn, you have to love Torah, you have to love Torah, over and over. The kid grows up, the kid doesn't like learning. He's what am I doing? Why do I have to learn this stuff? So the father's very disappointed. For years, he's giving the kid musar, so he goes to the Rav. It's not what you think. He goes to the Rav, and the Rav says, are you as excited when you learn Torah as when you got your new Tesla? You come with that enthusiasm. So what do you expect? The kid is tzoifa. Kid sees. The kid knows. He knows the nuances. He knows what's important, what's not important. Does his father happy with the fire, not happy with putting out the fire? And maybe that's awesome. Says the Gemara, the Gemara say, so if so, the cases have to mimic each other. When the guy comes and he puts out the fire, he looks at the Jew and he sees the Jew is excited. The Jew, his hands are tied with Shabbos, he can't do it, and the guy shows up. Oh, Givaldik. Mishari, says the Gemara, when a non-Jew puts out a fire for the Jew, even if the Jew is not there or he is there, it doesn't matter. The non-Jew does it for his own reasons. What's his reason? He realizes he's going to get compensated for doing it. So it's his own das. He's not doing it because so-and-so wants it. He wants it. He wants to earn the money. Tashma. Happens all the time. You have a frumer kind of child. He went to the right, let's say. He's a chaver. He's very makpid on everything. His parents are not so much. The Bali Tshuva, whatever you are, Amaratzim. Call him Amaratzim. So you go to the Amorit's grandfather's house, and now the kid is walking around with an apple that it's an Amorit's house. Amorit's, his produce is mine. We don't know. Did he take meiser? Didn't take meiser. So what do you do? We're not chayshish that the fruit is not musa. We're not concerned. You could send your kid to your in-laws' house. It's fine. And we're not concerned they're going to give them treif and they're going to give them fruit. Well, what if he has it in his hand already? It's dishmaya. No, let him eat it. So what do you see? You're not mitzuva to be mafreshim. You're not mechuyev to stop him. Or Rabbi Yochanan, b'dmai kilo. We had this many times. That be'etzem, an amoretz, most amaratzim, they take trumas and meisers. Certainly truma. They always take truma. Meiser is more expensive. So because it's dmai, we're not so makbid. Now, Tosfos just points out that dmai could be a deraisa. It's a takana de rabbanan not to eat it, and we already established that the rabbanan is not a problem. You're not mechuyev to stop your son from doing it. It's a rabbanan. But in the dmai, there's a chashash. There was no meiser, so then it becomes a deraisa. All the time of the dmai. But that's because it's dmai. Okay, so they will make havadai ba'il. But if your kid is holding an apple that's 100% not meiser off the tree, but it's not true. We just answered before. The Rebbe Yochanan says if the father's happy about it, then you have to stop him. But if the father's not even looking, he's not even there, then you don't have to stop the son from eating treif, from eating meiser, complete tevel. Elo, so Gemara says you're right. Rabbi Yochanan Sapukim Misapkele. We don't know what Rabbi Yochanan holds. Are bezim mechuyev to be mafresh a kid, not mechuyev to be mafresh a kid? Are you mechuyev to stop your kid or not? I don't know. So koi hacha, when he's talking about the fire, so matchi, he's going to push it off and say, I don't know. So maybe the pshat is that he's doing it with his father's consent and in rotzen. Maybe his father's standing there. It was a tchiyah. It's not that that's what he holds. He's not sure, Rabbi Yochanan. Koi hacha, and when he's in the other Mishnah about tevel, matchi, he says, it's a kula. You can't put Rabbi Yochanan in a corner because every time he'll answer you, maybe it means this, maybe it means that. Not that he really holds that it means this and that. It's a way to get out of it because Rabbi Yochanan himself wasn't sure, do you have to be mafresh your son or not? Tashma, ben chaver kohen shiraga leila chetzel avi imai. Here's another case. You have a guy that's makbid in Trumas HaMaisros, he's makbid in halach, he's a chaver. And he goes to his father-in-law's house, his father's a kohen amaretz. And chayshishim shem yachilenu truma tmeya. Now, truma tmeya is a deraisa. Matzah biyadi peiros ain't zakukloi. So, before when we had the similar question, we said, we're talking about the Rabbanan. But now, truma, that's tamei, is a deraisa. What is he going to say over here? You don't have to take a deraisa away from your son. Why not? So the Gemara, but truma the Rabbanan. We're talking about a truma that's the Rabbanan, and that the Rabbanan became tamei. Here's, for Rashi, it says, the Shivas Haminim. From the Shivas Haminim, what do you have to take truma midairaisa? Only the ones that are circled. Grain, grapes, and olives. That's it. The rest of the fruits, certainly vegetables, only the Rabbanan. Also different countries. If it's not in Eretz Yisrael, if it's further away, you don't have to take Trumas HaMaisros, the Rabbanan. So that kind of truma, we're not concerned if it's tamei that the kid is going to touch it. You don't have to be mafresh. Tashma. Yoinek tinoik v'hoylech minachris. So this is very interesting. If a young child, let's say a 2-year-old, walks over to the guy and starts nursing. He's thirsty, starts nursing. You're not mechuyev to be mafresh. And the Ran points out that the non-Jew might have eaten a cheeseburger 5 minutes ago, and the milk has that flavor. You don't have to worry about it. It's mamish streif chazer. You don't have to worry. That's how the Ran learns. Umebehema tmeya. Now this is not such a good picture, I just realized, but let's say this is a behema tmeya. I mean, it's a kid. The kid part I got well, but the other one, I didn't want to take the other one. There's other pictures. This is more of a okay picture. Fine. Ve'ein chosheshim b'yonik sheketz. In other words, I'm not concerned that it's a toyeva, it's meshukat hadavar. It's pretty nasty. You think about it. Behema tmeya. A davar acher. Hasidim don't even want to say the word. PIG they call it. The kid is your own kid, sitting there drinking from a PIG. The milk of a PIG is the same thing as the meat of a PIG. It's the same, it's aser. It's treif chazer. You don't have to be mafresh. Don't feed him nevela. Don't feed him a treifa. Don't feed him a rat. That you can't do. So, child could drink even on Shabbos, nurse even on Shabbos. Ubegadol, it doesn't mean an adult, it means an older child, aser. So Abishal says, the minhag was on Yantav, wasn't a problem, the Gemara is going to discuss. You see that you don't have to stop the kid from nursing, from a behemoth male. Why not? You mitzvah lahafresh. You see, you're not mitzvah. You're not mechuyev to take away a kid from Yisurim that he does on his own. Says the Gemara, no, not a raya. Hasa mishum sakana. We're talking about the kid is in danger of losing his life if he doesn't have milk. So you let him go. So what about a 3-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, let's say, that's still nursing? We said before, by a gadol, you have to sit there and measure how long could he last? Could he make it until after Shabbos? Says the Gemara, you should also have to see, could he last or not? If a child doesn't nurse, doesn't have the milk, it's a very big danger for him. There's a story in Eretz Yisrael, a famous story here, with the Remedia formula. What is it called? Remedial formula. They forgot to put the B1 vitamin in there, and 3 children died in Eretz Yisrael. 20 children were critically, the whole thing, they shut down the company. They were making over $100 million a year. They shut down the company because one nutrient was missing from the milk. It was like 20 years ago. Remember this, Maisa? What? On Shabbos, they were going around with microphones screaming, if your kid is on this formula, take him off right now. It's from people going around in cars in the neighborhoods on Shabbos. So the point is, you don't have milk, sakana, literally a sakana. So you got to let him drink even from a behemoth to meya. What's going on? Why only on Yontav? You should allow it even on Shabbos. And if there's no sakana, why can't you do it on Yontav? What's the Isser? Dash. You see over here in the picture, to separate a product from something is also on Shabbos and Yontav. So to separate milk from a woman, from a behemoth, is also. That's why it's close to Issa Deraisa for a woman to take the milk on Shabbos and save it for Sunday. That's why if a woman has to, if she spills it out, then it's okay. Today, to do it with a machine, by hand, or whatever, is already the norm, so the halachas are different now. It's a bigger isser. The child has a lot of pain. He's not going to die, but he has pain. Because and he holds that if you do it b'shinui, you separate it b'shinui, it's okay. Shabbos, this is skila goes rabbanon. They said to go directly and to be mefarik with your mouth. That's a shinui. So on Shabbos, it's also the geyser. Yontav, the Isser, Lav, it's only Isser Lav. It's not a skila. Like goes rabbanon. That's why there's a difference between Shabbos and Yontav. Okay, now the Gemara brings 3 almost identical things. The mamish, very easy. 3 psukim that say that you have to be careful not to do an Isser to your child. First one is Tashma lo yisoichlum ki sheketz heim. You're not allowed to give shekets. You're not allowed to give nevelos. Lo yisachilum. You're not allowed to feed it to your kids. Lahazar agdolim aktanim. To warn the parents not to feed the kids nevela treif. My love, domalu lo tachlu techlu techelu techlu. He's telling them, don't eat. No, loy, the Leilu will be a dime. Not a raya from here. Not that he has to prevent them. He shouldn't do it with his hands. He shouldn't feed them. Toshma, same exact thing again. Kol nefesh mikem leisoich adam. It says in the pasuk you can't eat blood. Lahazar agdolim alaktanim. My lav darmalu teichlu. Isn't the pshat if you see a kid about to drink blood, you have to stop him. Loy, the Leilu will be a dime. Don't give him a bottle full of blood. Toshma, morva marta. Here's the pasuk. It says in the pasuk, it would be perfect if the pasuk said, what's the v'amarta again? You already said amar. So we learn from here, lahazir g'doy laktanim, for tuma. This is what we're talking about before. That a kohen cannot be metamis kid, he has to be careful. And if he's married to a Yisraelis, let's say, and she could go visit the hospital, she can't carry her child with her into the hospital. That has mason. My love, same exact thing again. It's even that you have to prevent the kid from going in. You're not allowed to do it with your hand. You're not allowed to schlep the kid into the hospital or something. Okay. So we have the 3 identical psukim. The Ashmin Shkotzim, Daf Yomi Amud Beis, sponsored by Moshe Horner out of Hilzen, sponsored by Nisan Latzlacha Ruchni Gashmi from around the Kash, introducing me to MDY. So if I only said Shkotzim, Mishum Disurim B'Mashu. A Sheket, check this out, is B'Chadasha. The Isser of one of the Shemona Shrotzim is the amount of a lentil. Where it comes to a mace, this is larger, it's a olive size, a kazayas. So, you see how chomer it is. Sheretz is chomer. The Torah is makbid on the smallest of the small. Al-Dam, which is more kal. That the revius, you have to drink at least a revius, maybe kazayis, revius. So it's less chum or emaloi. Maybe I don't have to be mafresh my kid. You see, the Torah is not so makbid on blood. Let him drink a little bit. A sheretz, oivei. It's even a mashu. V'yashmin dam mishum digikaris. But maybe fakert. Dam is more chomer. The oynish is stronger. There's a karis. There's no karis. V'yashmin hanitarti. And if we say just those two, mishum disum shavakol. The whole world is also in it. Masha'enkin avatuma emaloi. Tum is only for koyanim. Yeah. By the way, stamazoi eitzim chinuch. Not that I'm not very good at it, obviously, but I heard once. When you want to tell your kid, a kohen tells his kid, "Look, we are special. We're not like those low-class Yisraelim and Levim. We're chashiv. We're kohanim. Look at us. We have special halachas of tumah. We don't say, oi." They don't, right, Donnie? You don't tell your kid, "Oi, I can't believe it. I can't go to the funeral. I can't go to the fakir." I'm a chashiv a person. So when you tell your kid also about mitzvahs, Torah mitzvahs as a yid, look at us. We're chashiv. Not that, we have to keep Shabbos and so fakert. We're muram. We go with different rules. You see from the Kehanim. I'm just saying, you can point it out from the Kehanim. Av tumah emeloi. V'yashmin and tumah, Kehanim shani, mishum the riba by mitzvahs yiseiros. The Torah gave them more mitzvahs. They're special. Avlahani emeloi. But the others, maybe not. Tzricha. Okay, fine. Tashma. Now, Rabbi said we did this sugya, and a lot of people fell asleep during the sugya. So here it is, chazar all over again with the potato heads from the beginning. Now, just to make it easy, I'm not even sure why the Gemara goes through the first two steps. It's a classic Gemara style where it's so simple, the first step, the second step. We want to get to the third step. Maybe the Gemara is just pointing out you can't learn it from anywhere else. The point is, if you have a cheresh and a chireshes, they both don't know what's going on. And their marriage is the rabbanon on both sides. Yet, if a Yevama falls to him, he has to give her a get. He has to get rid of her, give his wife a get. Why? Let him be married. Let him do Yisurim. Who cares? It's a raya that we have to separate even people without das from doing Yisurim. Okay, that's the raya. Yeah, raya is klar. When they're married, let him stay married. Let him be. Who cares? He has a Yevama, not a Yevama. And for that, the Gemara says all the way to the last words of the parak. We just care that other people shouldn't think that it's mutter. But before we get there, the Gemara is going to go through two cases that we had with the potato heads, that only one of them is a cheresh, or either he's a cheresh or she's a chereshes. One of them is us, and the Gemara is going to ask, let them stay married. Let them be over Isser. And what's the answer to that? But the other one is not a cheresh. Only one of them is a cheresh. What about the woman who's smart? How's she allowed to be married to him? It's like most obvious answer, but let's see it. Tashma. Shnei achim. Here we go. On the board. Shnei achim. Echad bikecha ve'echad cheresh. One is normal, one is a deaf mute. Nisuim shtei achoyos, pikchois, their wives are both normal. Meis cheresh bal pikachas. Ma yasa pikecha bal pikachas. Now, this is the Rabbanan marriage. The Rabbanan Yevama falls liyibum to the Oraisa marriage, but he's already married to the sister. So with the Oraisa, he can't be married to her. She can't fall to him liyibum because he already has her sister in the Oraisa way, not in the Rabbanan way. So she gets bounced out of there. Oh, sorry. Now, what about this case? Now, the normal guy dies, and his wife is a 100% doiraisa yevama who falls to a cheresh who's married to the sister only b'derabanan. So now the yevama should bounce out that sister that's married b'derabanan. What should he do? He has to divorce his wife. The Gemara is going to ask, why divorce? He's only a cheresh. He doesn't have das. But the Yevama, he can never do anything with her. Why? He can't give her chalitza. Why? He's a cheresh. Cheresh doesn't give chalitza. He can't be miyabim her. Why? Because a chaysisha b'derabanan. So Meila, she's stuck forever. Ask the Gemara, my Moses to be get. Why does he have to divorce his wife? They said, Gabay, let her just sit there. He's not doing any iser. He's a katan. He's a shaita. Says the Gemara, Mishum Nisur did da. But she's a pikachas. How could she be still married to him and be with him? You forgot about her? Oh, okay, fine. Let's go to another case. Same exact idea. The point is, it's a style of the Gemara. The Gemara knows the answer, of course. We're just trying to show you that we have to get to the third case. Tashma. Here we go. Two brothers who are normal married to two sisters. It's the reverse case. It's just instead of the two women being smart or normal, the two men are. The Pikeach married a Chireshes. That's only a Rabbanan marriage. What should the other one do? So his Yevama, the Yevama that falls, is only a Rabbanan Yevama. She gets bounced out of there. What about if the Raisa marriage, he dies? What should he do? He has to divorce his wife, but he's able to do chalitza, so he gives chalitza. Ask the Gemara, why does he have to divorce her? She is a chireshes. Yeah? Let her stay there. Says Gemara, the day. But he has the isser. Okay. So therefore I have to go to the next case. There's a Bekeach and a Chireshes. Sorry, where are we? Here we go. There's a Bekeach and a Cheresh married to Bekachas and a Chireshes. The Bekeach is married to the Bekachas. The Cheresh is married to the Chireshes. So now finally we have a case where you have two non-balidas married to each other. If the Rabbanan guy dies, so that's not our case. We don't need it right now. Okay, so she goes out. But this is the case. But if one of the smart guy died, now he's a deraisa, she's a deraisa, Yevama. What should the guy in the bottom do for his wife? He should divorce his wife. Says the Gemara, but now he's married to Chireshes. She doesn't have das. He doesn't have das. Why does he have to divorce his wife? Why can't he just remain married? Two shaitim married to each other. Let them stay married. So you see that you have to be mafresh even though somebody doesn't have das. Even a katan. But they both don't have isurim. We are concerned that people are going to say, you know why? If we let them stay married and not get divorced, people say, you know why they could stay married? Because the Chireshes was so powerful, she bounced her sister, the Bikachas, out of here. They're not going to realize that the reason why they let her stay married is because of the shaitim. They're going to think that she's powerful. And then, so what? They're going to take the lady with the green hat, who's a Bikachas, and let her get married to anybody. But that lady can never get married to anybody. She's also to the world. We're chayshish that they might let her get married based on this Allah. So Mela, they said get divorced. Akapan, we don't have a raya. Do you have to be mafresh a kid or not be mafresh a kid? At the end of the day, I think the Paskin, most Rishonim say you don't have to. Okay, but one thing's for sure, don't get confused. To take your kid, your 2-year-old, and walk him over to the switch and have him push the button or the air conditioner and have him go like this, 100% awesome. That we said, even a kid that's 1 day old, you're not allowed to make him do something. You're not allowed to feed him a hamburger. You're not allowed to make him B'chal Shabbos. If you see a 2-year-old,
feed him. Things right.
The kid is not a Shabbos guy.
Fine. It's not a question of feeding him a hamburger. That's you being a diet. If you pick up a kid, it's a very big difference.
Okay, that's how we describe Chil Shabbos in our days. You're going to say car. It's not really fire. Whatever you want. You can't put him on. You can't bring him to the oven and have him turn on the fire on Shabbos. You happy? Great. Hadran al cheresh, hadran al cheresh, hadran al cheresh. And if he does it by himself, it's different. I just said, if you hold the kid and bring him over, that's usher. If he does it himself, that's something else. If a woman goes together with her husband on vacation, Shalom beinoy leino, v'shalom ba'olam. Leilu Nishmas Remei Yechiel ben Rev Avram Zechus Levracha. So, very famous Mishnah. A woman goes on vacation with her husband. We're talking about whether or not a woman could testify and say her husband died. So when it comes to the death of her husband, she has nemanas because it's avidah l'geluye. It's something that eventually people can find out she's scared. But a get, she can't say I got divorced because she could lie. So if everything is good, Shalom bein the Shalom Weiss is great, V'Shalom ba'olam, there's no war, Uba v'amro meis bali, and she says my husband died. Tinase, she's allowed to get married. Meis bali, and if she says my husband died, Tisyabim, she could do Yibum, even though she's a Shesach. Shalom beina lebeina umacham ba'olam. What if there's peace between them, but there's war in the world? Let's say they go on vacation, right? And I'm just saying, like, how did they get into a fight? They went on vacation, and she opens up the window, and she says, "Wow, look, there's a goat." And he looks at her and he says, "It's not a goat, it's a cow. It's not a window, it's a mirror." So then you start having a k'tata ba'olam. You have a fight. But v'shalom ba'olam. Then ubasav amra, and then she showed shalom aleichem. Now she's here. Oh, Meis Bali. I wonder why. He's dead. I think he's dead. Einan emenes. You can't believe her. You have to have simanim. Even today, like when somebody gets killed, whatever, not by us, they get killed, they take like the husband, the first guy, the chap is the husband, they bring him into a room and they interrogate him, right? And then they look in the video, they see if he's crying, what is he doing exactly? Is he happy? Is he crying? Is he nervous? There's certain simanim that if you lose a spouse, you cry and the clothing is ripped. Wow. Okay, we have some work tonight at 9 o'clock. Whoever wants to come can come. Otherwise, it's just me and the camera. I'll see you, Be'ezer Hashem, in about 13 days. Wish me luck. Daven for me. Be'emes. Rabbi say daven. Have a wonderful day.